There are three psychological terms that every manager needs to know about if they're serious about their performance and their impact on their teams. So what we're going to do in this video is we're going to take you through these three psychological terms, what they look like, how they manifest themselves, so that you can take proactive action so they don't impact the performance of you and your team. My name is Garin 𝗿𝗏𝗀𝗃. I'm an organization development consultant, have been for the last 20 years, working across different countries and different sectors as well. And what we do is these videos is we give you practical tips for progressive managers that are really looking for a performance edge. So being an effective leader involves not only overseeing tasks, but also navigating the interpersonal dynamics, either between you and your team or between team members. However, when it comes to dynamics, all is not what it seems on the surface. How you respond under pressure and stress will have a huge impact. So therefore, it's really essential to develop your self-awareness and understand your inevitable defense mechanisms that you have when you're under pressure. So to really excel in the leadership area, managers should be familiar with these three psychological terms. Number one, displacement. Number two, projection. Number three, projective identification. So don't worry, you don't need to be a psychologist to understand them. But what do these terms mean and how can they manifest themselves when leading your team? So let's take the first one, which is displacement. So displacement is a psychological defense mechanism in which individuals redirect their emotions or the frustrations they're feeling from one source onto another. And often the other source they're projecting onto is less threatening than the other. So let's give you an example to bring this to life, which can be really helpful. So Claire is a manager under tremendous pressure from her senior managers due to a looming project deadline, and her stress and frustration are building up, but she feels she can't express these feelings towards her superiors because she's either concerned about her role or how they might respond. So what Claire does is she unintentionally displaces her frustration onto her team members, and she does this through nitpicking their work or becoming overly critical of their performance. And this not only creates a hostile work environment, but also reduces team morale and productivity. The second one is projection. So projection occurs when an individual attributes their own feelings or thoughts or characteristics to others. So often a way of avoiding confronting their own shortcomings. So let's take an example here. So Alex is a manager who lacks confidence in his decision-making abilities. But rather than sort of acknowledge his uncertainty and lack of confidence in his decision-making, he actually projects his insecurity onto his team members. And he does this by doubting their confidence and micromanaging their tasks. And the team members, as a result, obviously become demotivated and unappreciated because of this constant scrutiny, when in reality, the issue actually lies with Alex's own self-doubt. The third one is projective identification. So projective identification is a psychological process in which one person unconsciously induces certain feelings or behaviors in another person. They're effectively projecting their own emotions onto them rather than owning their emotions. So think of a manager, 𝗶𝗍𝗄𝗏, who is feeling overwhelmed and she's anxious about a major restructure in her company. So 𝗶𝗍𝗄𝗏 engages in projective identification by expressing her anxiety through constant and vague warnings and a negative attitude around her team. And consequently, this becomes infectious. So her team members actually start feeling anxious and uncertain about their own futures, even if they were feeling initially confident in their own abilities and security. So what's happened is 𝗶𝗍𝗄𝗏's emotional state has infected and spread to her entire team. So those are your three terms. So projection, displacement, and projective identification. They're really important terms because they can really significantly benefit you in situations such as conflict resolution, decision making, and also the well-being of yourself and your team. So I hope you found this useful. We put videos like this all of the time, and they're designed for progressive leaders that are looking to have a performance edge with their organizations, and also for the HR teams that support them as well. So if you like it, please subscribe to the channel, hit the bell and be notified of the next one. In the comments below, if you feel that this is something that you've been impacted or observed in others as well, please let us know your experiences. We're always really keen to gather qualitative data on these examples in the workplace. And if you've enjoyed it, please hit the like button as well, and we'll see you in the next video.